everyone, welcome back to another video. I hope you're all doing well. Today's topic is quite interesting. How to heal the Revati moon, which means if you have your moon in Revati Nakshatra, then how can you heal your emotions, your mind, and how to improve the overall quality of your life? Well, the question is, why do you need to heal your Revati moon? From Ashwini to Revati, every moon placement do require a certain degree of healing. If one nakshatra gives certain talents, powers, and qualities, it also brings challenges and harsh experiences. And moon is the planet of mind, conscious and subconscious both. It's your response system, your thinking, and it is never the same every day. It changes, it waxes and wanes. Some area is illuminated and some area is under the dark. So the dark over here always show our challenges and where we need to heal ourselves. Why are we talking about the Revati moon today? Because it's one of the most sensitive placement for the moon. And most Revati people don't acknowledge that. What they will do, they will start believing that something is wrong with them. Rather than understanding, they feel things more deeply. Rather than understanding that fact, they start believing something is wrong with them. They cannot cope up with the reality. And Revati is represented by a fish. So the more challenges this fish witness every single day, the further it sinks and goes down to the bottom of the sea to hide itself. So the big thing over here is to face the world, to be connected to the world. That is the biggest challenge. So today's video is divided into three parts. Number one, we'll talk about in general what the Revati moon represents. Secondly, what needs to be healed with this placement and why do we need to heal that? And number three, we'll talk about how you can heal yourself, your mind, and emotions. Revati Nakshatra falls between 16 degrees 40 minutes of Pisces to 30 degrees of Pisces, the last sign and the very last nakshatra. And Revati literally means wealthy. But it's not the material wealth. Well, this is the final nakshatra representing the exit from this world. It represents the completion, the conclusion. So having moon in this nakshatra means you have much more precious things than the material wealth. Well, the wealth is not a big issue because even if you are dealing with financial crisis, this is a placement which will bring you help, financial help. Whenever you are in need, it will bring what you need. There's a great luck, there's a great blessing over here. But again, moon being in this nakshatra means having much more precious things than the material things. It is your wisdom, the deeper understanding of life, the way you see the truths in this world, no one else will. If you have moon in the Revati nakshatra, it means you have experienced all the nakshatras in some way. From Ashwini to Revati, you carry a little bit of goodness of all the nakshatras. So that is your richness. As I mentioned, Revati means wealthy. So all that goodness, the talents, the wisdom connected to those nakshatras, it's within you. And this gives birth to great talent. You will always have this one talent, like no one can compete with you, and finding that talent and growing that, this becomes a challenge. Well, if you work on that talent, it could be anything. You need to see where your Mercury is placed, where your Jupiter is placed, and also check the placement of Venus. It will show you what kind of great talent you have, and it's rare, it's unique, it's beautiful. But the struggle is how to use that talent. If you carry the wisdom of all those nakshatras, you also carry the burden, the baggage connected to all of those nakshatras, inducing a lot of pain. So you carry this gift, but there is inability to use it. Remember, a place where Venus exalts, but also a place where Mercury gets debilitated. Though it's the nakshatra of Mercury, but Mercury is not very happy in Pisces because the logical side of Mercury, the calculator side of Mercury, is not very functional. So the ability to process and cope up with the difficulties, with the challenges, gets a little weak, and then you almost start forgetting your talent. Your entire attention goes into different things, or finding out more comfort zone or peace, rather than working on that talent in a great way. Now, what do you need to heal and why it needs to be healed with this placement? Number one, your connection with the reality needs to be healed. Imagine that you are at this busiest railway station. Revati is connected to the railway network, so it's quite an interesting example. So you're at this crowded, busy railway station, and you're constantly looking back because you know some of your family members are out there, they have luggage in their hand, and you don't want them to trip, you don't want someone to go missing. So you're constantly looking back to make sure everything is secure, everything is okay. And then you're also looking at your front to make sure that you are at the right platform, you're catching the right train, and you're not missing it. So there is a lot of back and forth, back and forth. And in this situation, you start feeling confused, you start feeling tired. That Mercury, which is responsible for, integrating your thoughts, processing your thoughts, what you need to accept and what your mind is rejecting, that is what Mercury is doing. So you start losing the grip of the reality, the present situation. As I mentioned, you have experienced all the nakshatras, you have a bit of all the nakshatras in you. So all that knowledge is coming from past. There's a lot of information coming from past. There are a lot of thoughts which are still not accepted or processed in your mind. And then you're also looking constantly into the future to see how the things will be for you. And also there is a tendency to look into the future with rose colored glasses, like you want to see things the way you want to. Okay, so this brings the need to focus on the present. Sometimes you may lose that ability, and then things do get difficult, and then there's a withdrawal happening in your life, withdrawal from everything, and trying to be in a secure zone, in a safe zone, rather than fighting for what is important for you, what truly means for you. So two fishes going into opposite directions, that is what Revati is about. Firstly, going in a very easy direction, going with the flow, and then going against the flow. And when you go against the flow, a lot of growth happens. And also it's not always about that you should go against the flow, but you should have that wisdom. You should work upon this aspect of your life, when to go with the flow and when to go against the flow. So here the role of Mercury is important. Being more logical, connecting with reality is important if you seek growth in life. Any placement in the Revati nakshatra means that on an emotional level, soul level, you're dealing with two extremities, two very poles apart aspects, and you're finding it difficult to get a conclusion or blend those two things together, relate those two aspects together. And this is where you have to work the most. And over here, as you have moon in the Mercury's nakshatra, again there is struggle in processing your emotions, finding a conclusion. It's very important to work on this aspect. Number two, with this placement, you need to heal your connection with the world and your relationships, because this is something which will make you very empathetic and kind in nature, very sensitive towards how others are feeling, what they are going through. So it makes you a healer. It makes you a great helper for other people, but you don't know where to stop giving constantly. So it either makes you an overgiver, or it makes you someone who knows how the world is, using your goodness, and then you retreat. You don't want, you just, what you do is you just try to save yourself all the time. You hide yourself all the time. You don't want to indulge into the world. You don't want to connect with other people, so you start escaping the world. So a right balance should be maintained over there. And you do attract a lot of broken birds. Your aura is amazing. You're very graceful. This placement is gifting a very rich look, overall personality, but you have a healing impact on others. You are someone who is a great teacher. You are someone who is always helping other. And then there are certain jealous people out there who will be wondering like how you manage to be like this, so happy, so graceful all the time. And then you also attract broken birds, like the people who are in need of something, and they know like your presence, connecting with you will bring more help for them. And in this process, you get more hurt because of those people. So yes, a fair exchange in relationships is required. This is something which you need to heal. And number three, of course, it's again about perseverance. You need to heal your courage and your confidence. You need to show great perseverance. Dedicatedly follow what you love in life. There are times when you may stop because of the challenges, how overwhelming things get, and then you try to, escape from that situation because things are not working the way you want to. Even if you escape, come back to that same area, come back to that same position and start pursuing. Coming back to yourself, coming back to your goal is important. You should know that. Now, how to heal your Revati moon? Number one, indulge in certain activities which are associated to Mercury or associated with the sixth house. Your moon is in the Mercury's nakshatra, just opposite to it, 7 places away. That house is also ruled by Mercury. It's ruled by Virgo. So do certain Virgo-like activities, work on your health, create a better everyday routine, be more disciplined. Whatever you do in life, be more disciplined towards it. Confront the challenges, confront the difficult situations in life, and of course, creating a routine, a well disciplined life will be very helpful for you in your healing and achieving your goals as well. Also, Virgo like boundaries in relationships, not a very easy access to everyone. Help as much as you can, serve people, do charity, heal others, but of course, there should be less of expectations, and also you must know where to stop. Virgo is known for their boundaries in relationships. Becoming a little bit strict is important. And also, Mercury like activities are writing a diary every single day, or you can write a blog, expressing yourself through words. All right. And also meditation, because Revati, if fish is the symbol of Revati, even a drum is the symbol of Revati, and drum has a great spiritual significance. Drum is being used to create sounds, and these sounds were created just to connect with the higher forces. This is a true gift for Revati, the way you can communicate with the divine, with the higher power. It's beautiful. You have that close connection, and connect with the higher power through meditation, through chanting, even through music. If you know how to play instruments, if you don't know, try to learn music, learn to sing, learn to play instruments. It will be such a healing process for you. And of course, travel, not staying at one place for a long time. This can be very difficult. It is very draining. So travel, move a lot from one place to another, and this is going to bring fun, it is going to bring a relief and much more happiness. So that's all for today's video, and I hope you found this entire analysis helpful in some way. Thanks for watching. Take care of yourself. Goodbye.